the binding of Fenrir, which I will dedicate to Siggy. This drum was gifted to me by Thorvald the first time I told this at Althing, which I make sure I use every time now, even though I have my own drum. So, I'd like everyone to clear their minds. Try to feel the energy of everyone around you. The drum beat is going to be done to a heartbeat, which is kind of meant to sync everybody up, right? When I first hit this drum, I want to hear everyone howl like a wolf, as loud as you can. Call the gods for me.
Hopefully.
This is a story about a wolf. When Sigfather Odin returned from one of his many journeys across the 9 realms, he was surprised to find the 3 demon children of Loki and the Giant, Angrboda. Hell, half woman, half corpse. Jormungandr, the world serpent. And the most fearsome of them all, the wolf, Fenrir. Now Odin saw the future of Ragnarok. He knew what would happen if Lady Hel entered into the battle. So he gifted her own realm in Niflheim, named it after her, and there she ruled the underworld for all time to come. The great serpent Jormungandr started to grow, and he grew and grew, till Odin took him by the tail and cast him into the sea. He sank down to the bottom of the oceans. Now Odin foresaw how large that the wolf would become. So he took him there to Asgard, where the gods could watch after him, but none would approach to even feed the wolf, save one, Lord Tyr. Tyr fostered the wolf for many years, and the wolf he grew and grew, till Odin had decided that it was time to contain his growth. So he commanded the smiths of Asgard to forge a chain of iron, a chain named Laden. They brought the chain forth to the wolf, where Odin said, "O mighty Fenris wolf, would you show us your great strength? Show us you are a breaker of chains." But Fenrir was no fool. He knew the gods' trickery, so he refused. The gods laughed at him, making fun of him, cajoling him. That was too much for the wolf. So he said, "Bind me with this chain, and I will show you how strong I am." With a shrug of his mighty shoulders, he snapped the links in two. He howled at the gods and went back to his pen. Now Odin knew he must then command the greatest smiths in all of Asgard to forge a steel chain, a chain named Dromi. 10 times the strength of the iron chain, it took 3 gods to carry it. They brought the chain forth to the wolf, where Odin said, "O mighty Fenris wolf, would you show us your great strength a second time? You've shown us you are a breaker of iron, but would you be willing to bind yourself with this steel chain?" Now Fenrir was no fool. He knew the gods would be up to something, so he refused. The gods laughed at him, making fun of him, cajoling him. That was too much for the wolf. So he said, "Bind me with this chain, and I will show you how strong I am." With a shrug of his mighty shoulders, he snapped steel in half as if it were nothing. He howled at the gods and went back to his pen. Now Odin knew there would be no containing the wolf without magical means. So he sent good Skirnir to Svartalheim, fetch a chain to bind the wolf. Ivaldi's sons searched all 9 realms for magical items to make such a chain. You would not believe that such things could be forged, but dwarven magics are beyond our knowledge. Ivaldi's sons use things such as a beard of a woman, the breath of a fish, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the spittle of birds, and the footfalls of a cat. Now many fantastic claims could be made of a chain forged from such items. The most amazing thing about it, the Glintnir it was called, it was as thin as a silk thread. Odin took the Glintnir into his cloak and brought it forth to the wolf, where he said, "Fenrir, let us laugh and run and play." When the wolf was at ease, Odin produced the Glintnir from his cloak, and he said, "Fenrir, you've shown us you are a breaker of iron, a breaker of steel. But would you be willing to bind yourself with such a silken thread?" Fenrir knew this to be a trap. He immediately refused. Again, the gods laughed at him, making fun of him. Odin even threatened him with exile. But Fenrir was no fool. He said, "I will let you bind me with this chain, but one of you, I see her, must place your hand into my mouth." The gods rose up, and none stepped forward, save one, Lord Tyr. Hail Tyr!
Hail Tyr!
Of the gods! Tyr placed his hand in the mouth of the wolf as he clamped down slowly. Odin wound the Glintnir round his throat and fixed it to his body. The wolf shrugged. Nothing. He shrugged again. Nothing. Each time he shrugged, the Glintnir wound tighter around him till he could not move at all. Fenrir knew he had been tricked. He looked at Tyr, Tyr looked at him, and in one swift motion took his hand at the wrist. The sword hand of the god of war. Tyr did not cry out. He did not even wince. He bandaged his own wounds. But the wolf was stuck. Odin approached the wolf. The wolf was biting at Odin. Odin propped his mouth open with a blade. The gods carried the wolf to the mountains of Nitabalia, where a poisonous river runs forth from his mouth, where he's to be imprisoned until Ragnarok.